Right guys, so here's your next video on Pythagoras' theorem. Hopefully it's mostly revision, but I'll go over it anyway from the start. So you need to remember that Pythagoras' theorem states that the sum of the squares of the legs of a right-angled triangle, so the sides that aren't the longest, is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So in a right-angled triangle there's always one longest side and two legs. The square of the two legs added together will equal the square of the hypotenuse. So visually, if you look at it, what am I talking about? Legs, it's the straight up and the straight across, and then the hypotenuse is always going to be the long side that connects the two. So according to Pythagoras' theorem, a squared plus b squared is going to equal c squared in this case, because I've labelled the hypotenuse as c. So to give you an example of how that works, we're going to find the hypotenuse. So this formula is already finding the hypotenuse as c. Okay, so what are the legs? 3 squared plus 7 squared is equal to x squared, the hypotenuse squared. 3 by 3, which is 3 squared, is 9, plus 7 by 7, 49. Yep, equals x squared. 49 plus 9 is going to be 58. Is equal to x squared. So we're at x squared is equal to 58. We want to know what x is, so x is going to be the square root, because that's the opposite of squaring something. 58, you can leave the answer like that. If the answer needs to be in decimal points, or if you're trying to measure what it is, find what the square root of 58 is. So it would be 7.62. So 2 decimal places, and that would be in centimeters. Okay, so using Pythagoras' theorem, obviously that formula finds the hypotenuse straight away, but you can also use Pythagoras' theorem to find the length of any of the legs. You just need to rearrange the numbers with algebra. So let's say in this case it already has that. Just imagine that say this was x centimeters, so that leg was x centimeters. So our formula tells us that x squared plus 4 squared is going to be equal to 5 squared. We don't know what x squared is, so just leave it. 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. So now you need to use algebra to rearrange, because you want to get x squared, well, x by itself. So what is the opposite of adding 16 to something? Well, take 16. So you need to take 16 from both sides. It's a basic principle of algebra there. 25 take 16 on this side too. 16 and 16 will cancel out, so you'll be left with x squared on one side. 25 take 16 is going to be 9. Alright, and now you want to get x by itself. What's the opposite of squaring something? It's the square root. So find the square root of 9, and that just so happens to be 3. So the answer for what this x would be, sorry that it was already there, it would be 3 centimeters. Okay, so that's just confirming there. That's how you use Pythagoras to find one of the legs instead of the hypotenuse. Hopefully that helped, and I'll see you in the next video.